WA looking to get it away. Nice clearing kick there. Comes out towards half forward. Good fist away. Francis, have a look at him. Gee, you can see some of that talent you're talking about. He just lost his footing, unfortunately, goes to ground. But the red-headed boy, who has got so much talent to burn, just looks like a player, doesn't he, boys? You're just putting in the little black book to say, we're keeping an eye on you.
Look, if he was in this year's draft, I think he'd go close to the top 10 if he was available now. He was a little bit sick last week, but still cracked in pretty hard.
Well, that's extraordinary. And there we see Francis again with the centre clearance. His left foot kick is chopped off. So no relation, I don't think, though, to Terry. As again, they work it out here. Chain of handballs. There's Francis. Look at that kick. Lovely raking right foot kick. That's beautiful.
Well, even in this instance here, they're leading out of the goal square. Fantastic.
Francis has pushed forward out of the midfield.
And a bit of an idea of what kind of kicking action he's got here. But he's really started this game impressively. So
what that rule allows too, Tom, is that you get to see head-to-head matchups. You get to see the really good players on each other, which is what all the clubs will be looking for.
I'll tell you what, that kick has carried a good 50-55 metres. That was outstanding. He's 190 centimetres, Francis. He's from Loxton North, West Adelaide, 86 kilos.
It is Brian with his 8, Jaden. Brian with 8 disposals. Bonner across half-back with 6, and Partington with 5.
And there's young Coombe there in the middle, and Nunn getting the handball out. Did it really, really nicely for SA. SA will get the resulting free kick just outside defensive 50, and it's this man, Francis, who has shown so much already in this match, hasn't he, Kevin, and in the carnival for that matter. They're really showcasing themselves beautifully at the moment. We're coming up to 3 minutes in this second quarter. There's Francis again in the middle of the ground.
There's no doubt that you've got to watch them off the ball as well. So that's why you focus on the 4 or 5. You've got to look at what they're doing. The ball's 40 metres away from the current play. Are they reading the play like Francis has then? Did he set himself up on the right spot? So it's all of those things that they need to watch it. They write a complete report then, an individual report on each of the 5 or 6 players they watch.
A few moments ago, the kick you saw going inside 54 SA came from Bonner, but it got chopped off. But again, another turnover here, and it was Perella who got it, and then Stranatica for WA, and Francis chopped it off. Now the kick.
He's had a handful of senior games as well, and impressed at senior level.
Now that was Nunn that gave off the handball to Francis. That was a huge kick at goal from outside 50, went through post high, almost got chopped out, but he gets it back now, Watson, so he's got another opportunity to go forward. He does it. He should get it and go here as well. Good tackle there. That was well played now, and Malira has an opportunity to affect the turnover.
Once the medical report's through, then rating them based on their absolute talent.
Now that was Snelling there that got the kick inboard to Francis, and a good strong lead there. He'll line up for his second goal of the afternoon from about 45 metres out on only a fairly slight angle.
Yeah, just played the opening couple of games of his 18th year, and then had some surgery, but it was a knee problem, a cartilage problem, as I remember. But the report was that, look, he'll have a long career. It may affect the leg and won't play until later in the year, but that boy can play. He's just got to get himself right with his injury, but he's a very, very talented medium to tall forward, about a 190 centimetre mark. Magnificent kick, one of the best boys of his age in his 16th and 17th year around us.
Now the umpire's called a decision here for holding the ball, and it's going to go the way of Francis. And he's shown a couple of tricks today. He's played in the midfield, he's drifted forward, he's kicked the goal already, had the last shot at goal. Comes in now, and that's a neat finish too. Well done.
Game first up when SA went down by a point to WA. Earlier this year, with the Australian under-18 team, they played a VFL opponent in Werribee. He won the best player on the ground in that game, just to set his year up. So he's had an outstanding year to date. West Adelaide, playing for SA, playing for Australia, and we're really seeing a great prospect in action here today.
Well, here he is again. Have a look at the work he did. Just finished it off, used his body, goes into an open goal and kicks his third. Has he got a bag of tricks or what? He can play in the midfield, he can drift forward, and then he kicks goals and finishes off, most importantly.
But from within, they stayed the same, and the guys have met the challenges really well, the playing group, and obviously Adam with his coaches have done a great job.
Well, how was that mark there from Francis? The kick wasn't that bad from Schoenfield, but just the athleticism there from Francis to chop that off was first class. He for WA, he's under some pressure, wanted the free kick, nothing doing. Look at Francis just barging his way through. Right foot snap as he kicked it. I called Hazeman's the goal of the day just a moment ago. That might have eclipsed it. Just the way he got through was like a battering ram. Fortuitous play there, but it ends up with Partington, who just drives it long up inside 50. Big mark taken, and guess who? Francis. He can take a mark, he can get inside, he can get the clearances, he can play across half-back, he can play in defence, and he can kick goals too. He's kicked 3 already this afternoon, and this for number 4. So he's been well and truly involved in this football match. And he'll line up now from about 20 metres out on only a fairly slight angle. So just a little bit more breathing space. Been a good tight quarter though, this one. Just the 1 goal for both sides. Francis, though, changes that now. Kicks his 4th of the afternoon. He's pretty happy with it as well, and so he should be. And don't forget, of course, you are watching this match, the NAB Rising Stars Under-18s, live and exclusive on afl.com.au. There's Francis again. Have a look at that. Kicking board is ok.au/live pass. Make sure you do that. That is great value. Oh. Have a look at the mark. There he is, Aaron Francis, and a little bit of a push to say, how about it? Oh, this kid's exciting. He's got excitement written all over him.
He's 3 metres back behind his nearest opponent. He was always going to jump straight up his back. We can see that one coming. He has had a brilliant game once again today. He's heading for his 5th goal here.
He kicks goals. He goes back. He plays in the midfield. And can he finish?
Quite.
Not quite this time. He's already
playing SA here at Amy Stadium again. And Vic Country at this stage is unbeaten. They'll play the Vic Metro side tomorrow. I think they'll win that and win comfortably. So that will be a huge match here next Sunday. 2 of the stars that are probably compete with the likes of Francis for some of those early calls in the draft.
Yeah, there's no doubt that those are 2 of the names that are being talked about, along with Francis, who got that free kick for a great tackle and holding the ball, but the finish just let him down.
Well, we call them the anti-density rules, so the rules designed to actually spread.
Payoff for them, but Bonner came through, got it to France.
Will get you drafted, but if you have a poor one, clubs will understand. You could have been off for a while, and they'll give you another chance back at state league level. But great performances certainly.
Here, Markov through his legs. Francis looking for some.
But it ended up the backbone. Jeremy Cameron, another backbone of the Greater Western Sydney.
Flip it over to Francis, couldn't do so. Good smother there from Snelling, and he went back to lay the tackle. Hard footy from both teams.
Ruckman Perella, he's 200 centimetres and was playing tennis up until 2 years ago.
Big Perella. He's got a runner in Francis. And he hits it out in front, hoping Bonner can run onto it. McCann to Menon. Menon goes up towards looking for Eads, but cutting it off is Francis. Floating kick is...
Manny Fehrenberg and those sorts of guys that sort of aren't too far away for us. So, yeah, it's really pleasing. And it was actually good to see last night's game and then actually come here, and because it was a pretty hot game, as you well know, and then come here.
33 plays 31 at the moment. It's been all South Australia. They've kicked the last 4, and there is the matchup that you talked about, Brendan. On cue once again. These under-18s have a great habit of listening to us and popping up at the right time.
For me, that's his natural position, though. He does read the play as well as that.
From Tahana, went sideways. Matheson roved it well off the outside of the booth. It's a very clever kick. Parrish looking for it. Francis coming through. Takes them all on. Took on 1, 2, 3. Ball goes to ground. Victorian players almost collide there. That was both Johnston and Parrish wanted it. Nice work by Cole to slip it over to Matheson in the Shacky direction once again. Francis there with a big spoil, but it comes down to Weeds. Reads it first. A bit of time, bit of indecision though. Probably should have gone the first time, but he gets the ball to the goal.
Yeah.
Over to Eads. Eads' kick. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Ainsworth's got to beat Francis, and he's also got to beat Agostino. They're going to need both of them here, and Francis went down and got up very quickly. Away they go. Glenn.
Look at this.
Guess who? Shacky.
What I like about Shacky is...
Over he goes to Tucker on his left leg. Puts it out towards Shacky. Francis in front. Good battle this.
That you weren't anticipating, a la like a Luke Parker into the 40s. You can never have enough good players, so a little bit open-minded, but really exposes their kicking. Those that can't kick with any penetration or control, they do get exposed on this ground, so it's fantastic playing here. Yeah.
Want to take on, he might get it back, or Francis got in the way there. Ainsworth was trying to get it back to Shacky, but Francis read it, and he's kicked brother because he was so good at this level.
Here's the Francis interception.
Yep.
Yeah, he just read it well, didn't he?
Yeah.
These young men, they've got great character, but he's one of those kids I just can't wait to see play AFL football.
He's Aaron Sandlands. He had no kicks.
He's from the country. He's going to fly for this one.
There he goes.
That's what he can do.
And that's what he can do. And that's just, I think, when he's trying to win the game.
He's moved across to St Pat's in Ballarat and is playing for the North Ballarat Rebels, and been fantastic for the Rebels, and really grabbing his opportunity plays.
And belief that what I do right will send the ball through. Francis waits for it. Got it again.
Yeah, his last 3 times the ball's gone to him. Very, very impressive in the air.
Yeah, he fell heavily there too. He's back. Oh, here we go.
That's a terrific mark.
Yep. Under extreme pressure. And whatever happens here, I mean, it's a good finish by WA, by South Australia.
Looking to get into the footy administration. So, yeah, it's been a great place to learn a bit more about the game and how it's run.
Can't do that kick, Matty.
That's what you blokes...
We saw Laddams have the shot in the first quarter and kicked it, but a lot of South Australians would rather kick it from the boundary, the check side, than kick it from straight in front.
Yeah, that's 2 South Australians talking. Brenton Sanderson and Matthew Campbell.
Well, we weren't allowed to finish training at North Adelaide till we hit. Goes back to Smith, who kicks, unfortunately for him, straight to Francis, who's mopping up. Sharonberg to Francis, good vision.
He was chairman of selectors. They were at the Flowers Run.
Of course they
State
were.
of Origin selection meetings about 25 years ago.
Now, what's the selection criteria? Not the criteria.
28 the time before. They've been fairly close to the mark, SA.
To Dew, Francis on the overlap and the burst. Likes to hand off to Pirella, gets it back. Victoria haven't given it up though yet. Malera caught. Francis. South Australia with a chance to switch a play. Francis will use Sermon. South Australia have missed some opportunities, but they've managed to keep it in there. Good work by Francis.
That's good work.
7 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. 7-12-8-5.
Need a third up here, Vic Macho. Get the ball forward.
Every time you said that.
Now they go long inside 50 from Greg, that was.
Oh, good mark by Francis, the first game player. Had to stand his ground against the player bearing down on him.
He showed his grit already once earlier in the second quarter when he went head first and copped absolutely. He goes short to Amato. On the left, he tried to get around him, he did. Now just slams it on the boot. It's all West Adelaide back there. And Francis, he'd be happy to get rid of that and make sure that Hobbs is nowhere near him.
With the kick, Motlop will handball over the top. North Adelaide running now. They're playing better football this quarter, North Adelaide, just not converting. Back on it is the first gamer again in Francis and takes a lot. Motlop looking up, lifts the eyes, goes down that wing. Kicking to half forward, in front for West Adelaide. Francis